This is Sean with Voices Live On, and we're going to be supporting the Speedway Animal Rescue. And we have Ann Weber, is that correct?
Anna Weber, yeah.
Anna Weber. So I want you to give the people a little bit of background, and we're going to then pop through what's going to happen at this event this coming Saturday on the 11th at the American Legion in Speedway for the Speedway Animal Rescue. But go on and give a little bit of your background and just how you got connected to the rescue in the first place.
Yeah, so I've lived in Speedway for about 10 years. About 9 years ago, my husband and I started fostering for the Speedway Animal Rescue. A lot of people in town will remember Milkshake and Willie, two senior dogs that we fostered. Over time, I just got more and more involved. About 4 years ago, took over as treasurer. Joan and I have worked really, really closely together. And then this year, I took over as president.
Okay, so just to touch on some of the highlights of this up-and-coming event, somebody that I've been able to be connected with in the racing industry, we were able to do the history of the Unsers for Unser Jr., kind of like all the top people in the industry, their memories honoring Al Sr. and Bobby. He's going to be there, and Patty Spitler from Pet Pals TV and Wish TV is also going to be there. She's had a decently long relationship, I think since like 2015 or so with your founder. Is that right?
Yeah, she's known Patty for a really long time.
Okay. And then here's a shot at Unser Jr. They're going to be giving away, not giving away. There's going to be options with a raffle that you could win a trip to French Lick on a private jet with Al Unser Jr. and his wife Norma, as well as there's going to be tickets for the Grand Prix. There's going to be his book, probably some other race memorabilia that could be auctioned off. So he's really excited. They're big animal advocates as well. They're involved in a few different organizations. And then this gentleman, Rich Hardesty, I was able to do his rockumentary and life and music. He's actually adopted a dog from you. Is that right?
Yeah, the dog on the far left, the one with the big smile, that's Aspen. He was one of ours, found as a stray last year.
Okay. Yeah, so Rich is a very, very big advocate, and he's the reason we got connected. And KJ Today's Show, she is another big advocate for pets, and she has her own book. She's going to be there as well. And this is going to be right across from the track at the American Legion. And just for a quick visual, if you came down Georgetown, it's basically right at 20th, or you could take 16th, past the roundabout up on Crawfordsville and turn on Cord Road, and then on 20th, and I'll take you over to Georgetown. So this is a shot of you with holding a very good size. I'd say, what is that, a mid-sized dog? You'd say, what's the dog's name? And give me a little background on this photograph.
She is very near and dear to my heart. We actually rescued Lucy from Speedway Animal Rescue. She was 19 years old when she passed away, so she's probably about 18 years old here. She was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. We were hospice fosters for her, and so she became kind of the mascot of the rescue whenever we did any type of fundraising. So we're here with Central Indiana Porsche Club, and they were holding a fundraiser for us, and this was our check presentation, and they always liked when I brought Lucy along.
All right, so we're going to touch on Whitney for a minute. She unfortunately passed away over the holiday. She's your founder's daughter. And what was your kind of impression about Whitney and her passion for the rescue itself?
Oh, it was so obvious that she had Joan's, passion for animals. She was always saving people and animals, collecting people and animals to save. So always had cats and dogs, and any bunny she found in the street, or squirrel that needed help. She and Joan were definitely two peas in a pod.
All right, so I'm going to jump into a couple animals that you'd like us to touch on. First off, this is Susan, and the dog is Ivy, and it was in a car wreck, and it broke its two back femurs. Is that right?
Yeah, so Ivy was found on the side of the road in Speedway, and the finders initially believed that she'd been hit by a car because she couldn't walk, she couldn't use her back legs, and they took her to Noah's in Speedway. Noah's called us. Ivy had two broken femurs, broken in identical places, which unfortunately is more of a sign of abuse than having been hit by a car. So because of Ivy's age, she was only 5 months old. We had to get her into surgery immediately. It was a $6,200 surgery. I went on Fox 59 News to raise funds for Ivy. And while I was on the news, this woman, Susan, she saw me, she called us immediately, said she would adopt Ivy on the spot and take over the rest of her vet bills. So this story was really sad beginning, but had a really happy ending.
Yeah, but there's got to be a lot of times that you can't just hop on the news. And $6,200, that's nothing to even laugh at. That's a lot. I mean, that's a car. And how many times does a car have to be raised as funds to be able to help out just one animal?
This happens every 2 to 3 months where we're needing $4,000 to $6,000.
That's amazing. All right, so let's talk about these two guys. They were basically of seven. No, it's Indy and it's Benji, and they both had parvovirus, which I hadn't heard of. And you said 75% of animals, as when they're young, if they're not treated as puppies, that they could essentially pass away within the first few weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, parvo is extremely contagious, and puppies that haven't been fully vaccinated are really susceptible. So both of these dogs over the summer came to us as strays. Within a few days, they started showing symptoms of parvo. Miraculously, both lived. They both had it really bad. Both of them were hospitalized for about a week. Each of their bills was around $4,500. One after another. Was really, really tough financially on the rescue. We're actually still paying those bills off.
So when you get in those situations, I mean, I know that the community wants to help, but if somebody gives money 1 month, they're probably not going to be apt to give money the next month. And there's only, I guess, the pool seems like it could get smaller and smaller. So you'd have to keep expanding the ideas to the public of how much it does cost. So what are some of the initiatives that you really try to take to not just get more donations, but kind of expand it into more groups, maybe even outside of Speedway?
Yeah, it's really tough. Joan and I are, and the rescue in general, we're 100% volunteer. So, I personally have jobs of my own. Joan has, things going on her own. So when it comes to trying to find initiatives, it's really hard because, as we have emergencies that pop up, things fall to the wayside. And now we're kind of at a situation where I'm able to take over operations and Joan is just committed to fundraising. And that has really, really helped us out a lot. But finding the time to write grants, to expand our, fundraising has probably been the most difficult part of running the rescue.
Okay. All right. So let's look at these guys. This is a sad story of 7 puppies that essentially were not taken care of very well on their own property. And you ended up having, or 4 of them suffered from hypothermia. And just kind of tell me the backstory here.
Yeah. So in November, we received a call from a man who said he'd been evicted from his property and that he had 3 6-week-old puppies left in a crate. And, his first cold day, we assumed that we were going to find, puppies that had passed away. And when we got there, the story he had told us was entirely different from what actually had happened. We had 7 5-month-old puppies, completely emaciated. You can tell the male puppies have their ears cropped, so somebody intentionally cut off their ears. They were skin and bones. 4 of them were hospitalized that night with hypothermia. We also had mom and dad to take care of as well. So all in all, we had about 9 animals. We had to spay and neuter all of them. They were all badly infested with worms. We had to get them all taken care of. That cost us around $6,000, but they are all adopted. They've all found great homes. This was a really big success story for us.
All right. So can businesses also donate? And is that also a tax write-off besides just individuals?
Absolutely. So we are 501c3. We have full nonprofit status. We would love for some of our costs to be sponsored. For instance, we keep a storage facility for all of our donated goods. And that's, a $230 cost each month that we would love for a business to sponsor if possible. We have a lot of different options for what businesses could do for us and how we would be absolutely willing in return to throw advertising their way. Absolutely.
Okay, and this is just a reminder for the event, which is this coming Saturday on the 11th at 6 p.m. I believe 6 to 7 is kind of a reception that's going to have Unser Jr. and Patty Spitler and everybody there. And again, you could take 16th Street to Crawfordsville to Cord to 20th over to Georgetown, or go straight down Georgetown from 30th essentially. And it's at the American Legion, which again, if you want to see the trackside view, it's right across from the track. And again, this is Joan and her daughter Whitney. I know Whitney would be very proud that the torch will be carried on. And again, here's the shot of the event itself. Rich Hardesty is going to be putting on a great performance. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Anna, about the event, or just about your passion for the rescue itself?
Yeah, we're just so excited to have people who recognize our mission and want to help us. We've gone so long with really fighting for fundraising, fighting to get these animals taken care of, and taking on the burden ourselves, and it's not sustainable. And just to have people that see what we're doing and want to help has really been incredible. We feel very, very fortunate and blessed.
Okay, well, Anna, I really appreciate your time today. And this is Sean with Voices of Honor. Look forward to being at the event and helping saving some of the stories. I'm sure we're going to be able to get you to say a few words too. And again, the website is speedwayanimalrescue.org, and you'll be able to go there and you can make donations directly. But Anna, I thank you for your time, and just stay on the line.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it.